hand out like this. So we're going to do Forsythia. So we're again using the brush strokes and stuff like that. So first of all, the Forsythia you can see is everywhere, right, in bloom, but it consists of 4 petals. So each flower is 4 petals. So it's kind of like this. And it's more angular, it's not that round. It's more like almost like a rectangle, but I guess it's like a pointed thing like this. But when we're drawing them, we always can just draw rectangles like this. Okay, so, and there's a lot of flowers. Whereas each bush gazillion flowers. So the way we're going to do them, we just don't worry about individual flowers. Just do a lot of petals, and then try to make something out of it. So that's number 1. And then the brush stroke. Okay, so so we probably would do something like this. So basically you use these brush stroke to just draw the yellow, and then you outline them using some kind of a stroke. So it will be, yes, a rectangular or round or whatever, like this. So first of all, so the process is boom, boom, boom. You do a lot of these petals all over the place, and then you kind of keep track of where you are, and then the ones that you did first, then you go back and then you do these outline while it's still moist, but not dry, but not too wet. So let's say you do boom, boom, boom from up here down to here. So this would be wet currently. I go back over here, then you do the outline. So it'll be moderately, so it dried off a bit, so you can do the outlining, and then you keep working, and then you, after a bit, and then you add more flowers, and then keep going. You can kind of keep going back and forth to create a bunch of flowers. So the idea here is to make sure that you kind of distribute the flowers in some nice manner. So a lot of times you just put a whole bunch of petals at a certain spot, and then you kind of spread them out as you go along, depending on the composition. And then you connect them with these branches, and then you can add some more flowers to just kind of balance things out at the end. So, and then at the very end we'll do this butterfly, and then we can add a flower. See, the thing to do is you do a butterfly somewhere in the middle. There may not be any flowers that is sitting on, and you add some flowers afterwards to to connect the butterfly to the flowers. So that's the process. So now we go back to here. So we'll talk about the brush strokes. So brush stroke is basically, so I'm going to demonstrate brush strokes. And I should mention about the color. So basically this is most over yellow. So you load the brush heavily with yellow, and then the tip you add some other color. So you could, the tip, I think you're going to have red, or you can have brown. It's either brown or red, or both, whatever. So when you go one stroke, then you get some variations like this one here, where there's reddish here and then yellowish down here. So that's the idea here. So. Okay, so the branches is a strong and springy branches, so it's just very strong, kind of hangs down and comes back up. And then the branches you do by segment, so that so let's say like this. So you just one stroke here, one stroke, one stroke, one stroke, and then you connect them. And each stroke is trying to do different lengths and different orientations. So boom, this is a little short, so this is longer here. This stroke is short, but actually it probably connects to this guy here. So you can, so it's a long one, short, and so on. So just different directions and different lengths. That's the idea there. Alright, so I think that's it. Okay, so let's start off with the color. So you need lots of yellow and some brown. this one I think is no good, but then we can use these brown over here. So I have two things of brown available. And there's this thing of red that's available. Maybe I just squeeze out some red over here. Oh, that's a lot. Ooh, too much red. Okay, so we're going to put that aside. Oh, we need some ink, so why don't you run over here? Just use this kind of soft kind of brush. Yeah. Dry it off. So now just spread out the yellow. So lots of yellow. It doesn't mean that you get it directly from there. You spread them out, and you just keep adding more water and so on. So you have lots of yellow because you're using a lot of scrape off the excess. So then you have yellow like this, and then you also then should have so I would then have some red. Maybe I should use this one here. So some red over here, and then I add some brown over here. Okay, so now here we go. So now we can then hit the tip, let's say, on the brown, and then you're ready to go. So let's see, we're doing well. It's going to do something different then. So it's this kind of a stroke. So we start off heavy. So that's what I'm showing here. So you start off heavy, you pause slightly, and then you move immediately, and then you lift up. No hesitation. You just have to do it, boom, like this. And so let's say you also can twist. I think I said here you can open the brush by twisting on the plate. So let's say you just twist it over here, and the brush becomes like this. It's like a rectangular looking thing, right? And then this guy, then you can start off giving you some kind of a blunt finish like this. Yeah. So we get some reds. Twist it over here again, like twist like that. Like that. Alright, so now we can just go willy-nilly. So let's say, so different directions, mostly this direction. Keep hitting the plate on the different color. And this probably should follow some kind of thing here. So let's say we'll 4 petals like that. And more brown. So let's some more brown here. So the brush has yellow throughout. So every time, so I don't need to get any more yellow. So I just hit having the tip have this thing. So you can do quite a bit without having to hit the yellow again. So let's say a bunch of stuff here. So let's say based on that kind of design. So now he's kind of spread out over here. So let's say this is more spread out. So maybe some red. Red and so these are buds, small ones at other places. So a whole bunch here. Now we're ready to use another brush to, so I use this brush to try to do the outline. So outline, you use the brown, black. Plus some brown, so I'll just dip it into this guy here. So it's kind of brown black color. So this kind of color. So we're gonna do these rectangles. Alright, so now here is the key. You have to just dry off this guy here. So dry off by hitting the base of the brush against the paper. So now it's very dry. Take color, and then now you're ready to draw on here. So there's a rectangle and stuff. So I just keep hitting this little bit of ink. So then I'm not going to touch that. So just hitting the little bit of ink, a little bit of brown, and then you can. So now I think I probably should wait a little bit longer because it's kind of spreading a bit here. So that keeps going for a while. So let's not spend too much time. So let's outline these quickly. And then you can try to complete the flower. So say let's have this guy here, for example. I can draw another. Even though I didn't do any yellow there, I can try to make it look like a flower by adding more petals like this. And then you can add the yellow later. Okay, maybe I add a few more things here. So on the dish, it's not a very good brush, so I constantly have to go to the dish and get it back into a pointy shape. So if you have a good brush, you don't need to do this, but it's not a good brush for now. So almost any, even though it may not be a good brush, you can still groom it back into shape if you work on it long enough. Okay, so I think that's a whole bunch of flowers, and then now maybe we can just do the branches. So what I do is get some brown from there, and then get some black from here. So brown and black, so brown, and then the tip I take it black. Then you can, so let's say, so let's say, you go here. Hi.
Hello. This is on the floor outside. Maybe you lost it?
I don't know, maybe it's from my phone. My phone.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So and then we can, here we,
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
yeah, you just continue like in segment by segment, like this. Different orientation. So just so basically different little segment by time, and this is let's say long one, and then this is let's say go over here long, and then a short one, and then maybe another long one, different direction. So that's the process. But let's say you're copying that, then you can just try to follow what is going on over there. Like that. And then you can add some dots in various places. Usually the dots are pretty cool. And then we can connect the flowers to this with a big dot. You can connect the flowers to the branch. Yeah, okay, so you can do a lot more, but I think I probably have enough of that. And so for some of these guys, I can add some more yellow here, and so on. Yeah, add a little more here, see. Sometimes you forget to really good. So when it's still wet, you really have to dry this off real good by squeezing on the paper towel like this. Then you can scrape off some dry pigment that doesn't get any more water, and then you can actually do this without, even though it's still kind of wet. Okay, so that's the process. So so maybe I add a few more butts here and say. So the brush stroke is kind of you hit and then suddenly exit out of there. So you got like a scraping kind of action. Hit heavy and then you lift up. Heavy, you lift up. So something like this. So so you guys can try it, and then yeah. So and then since I have this brush. I groom it back into a point. I know it has very little water in it to begin with, so I can work on this like this. So now it's opened up again, so I do then drag it over here to come to a point again. And then you can work on this a bit, and then probably will open up again, and then work on it again. But I think what I'll do is here big dots to connect the flower to the branch. So big dots, black. I'm taking the black here. So I do these dots here. I let it hit the paper and let it sit longer, so that the ink has a chance to go into the. Yeah, so something like that. So later on we'll do the butterfly.